I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. We've been talking a lot here on the MeidasTouch Network how Special Counsel Jack Smith is increasingly focused on his criminal investigation relating to Donald Trump's election interference, on Donald Trump's fake electoral scheme conspiracy whereby MAGA Republicans who were loyal to Donald Trump agreed to fraudulently affix their signatures to fraudulent electoral certificates claiming Donald Trump won in states where President Biden won, and submitting those fake electoral certificates to then Vice President Mike Pence to be counted on January 6th, as all of the MAGA Republicans in the House of Representatives and the Senate objected to the electoral count. And the plan was then Vice President Pence was going to say, I have two electoral certificates. One from the actual Secretary of State saying Biden won, and I have this other one that I just received and it says Trump won. I don't know what to do. Using the powers vested in me, I'm going to just say Trump won. That was their plan. It was patently illegal. Everybody was telling former Vice President Pence, then Vice President Pence, it was illegal. So Pence ultimately didn't go along with it. I don't think he should get applauded that much for following the very basics of what the law is. But the whole plan was he was supposed to violate his duties and count the fake electoral certificates. Well, there is a great report out by Talking Points Memo by a writer by the name of Josh Kovensky. And I always love when I get to share great writers and I get to share some great journalism. And so this article is called New Unearthed Emails Show Trump Attorneys Coordinated Fake Electors. Two Nevada electors who reportedly received immunity for testimony in Jack Smith's investigation. It goes in and shows some of these emails that I had never seen before that I absolutely want to share with you. And so you'll recall, though, from our reporting, I think it was about 3 weeks ago. Actually, it was the very same day as Donald Trump's arraignment. So it was actually June 13th of 2023 as Trump's arraignment was taking place in the Southern District of Florida. You remember our report in Washington, D.C., in the grand jury there. You had Jim DeGraffenreid and someone by the name of Michael McDonald, both top-level GOP operatives in the state of Nevada, and they were testifying before the grand jury. We've talked about Special Counsel Jack Smith's the way he's gone about very aggressively bringing these witnesses in, not allowing them to get any extensions, first requiring them to invoke their Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination, and then giving them a limited immunity deal requiring that they testify or else they would be held in contempt and then they could be actually sentenced to prison. So then they would have to testify about their experiences. So these two individuals, DeGraffenreid and McDonald, were fake electors in the state of Nevada, and they were effectuating the Trump fake elector plan. And if you want to think about the Trump fake elector plan, it had a number of architects, but I think probably it's 2 or 3 chief architects. You had John Eastman, who's currently in proceedings in California to have his bar license revoked, and someone who I believe to be a target of Special Counsel Jack Smith's criminal investigation, as well as Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis's criminal investigation, right? You have Rudy Giuliani. Rudy Giuliani has lost his legal license. His legal license has been suspended in multiple states where he used to be able to practice. We reported how Giuliani is now cooperating with Special Counsel Jack Smith, entered into a proffer agreement and engaged in a voluntary interview with Special Counsel Jack Smith. That was reported last week. And there's this other name, though, we don't really talk about a lot, but someone who is also I believe, a target of special counsel Jack Smith and Fulton County District Attorney, a lawyer by the name of Kenneth Chesebro. And you probably have heard that name, especially if you've been following the MeidasTouch Network and you are in the weeds of the January 6th committee's deliberations and report, because at the end of their 845-page report, they make certain criminal referrals of lawyers, and Ken Chesebro, in addition to Eastman and Giuliani and Jeff Clark, is one of the individuals who the January 6th committee refers to the Department of Justice to be criminally prosecuted. And so in this great talking points memorandum article written by this, as I told you, great journalist Josh Kovensky, they unearthed some emails of Chesebro. So let me pull up some of these emails. And this is Chesebro sending emails to fake electors in Nevada, basically telling them what the plan is. Just look how incriminating these emails are. Let me pull this one up. This is from Friday, December 11th, 2020, and this is sent from Kenneth Chesebro to the fake electors. Thanks for passing this along. No, the COA need not be attached to the electoral votes. The purpose of having the electoral votes sent into Congress is to provide the opportunity to debate the election irregularities in Congress and to keep alive the possibility that the votes could be flipped to Trump and Biden. In that connection, can you tell me whether all court is responding to this? Thanks again. So that's one email from Kenneth Chesebro. Let me show you this other email from Kenneth Chesebro to McDonald and DeGraff and Reed. Mayor Giuliani and others with the Trump-Pence campaign, including Justin Clark and Nick Traynor, asked me to reach out to you and other Nevada electors to run point on the plan to have all Trump-Pence electors in all 6 contested states meet and transmit their votes to Congress on Monday, December 14th. I'm one of the lawyers handling the state court litigation in Wisconsin, the first state which made definitive plans to have our electors vote on Monday. Confidentially, so you can understand how we're messaging it, below is a draft press release by our lead lawyer in Wisconsin, which would be released only after we file papers in the Wisconsin Supreme Court, following an expected loss in the lower court, which we expect to do Saturday. I'd appreciate if you or someone else on your team could get in touch with me as soon as possible. I have 2 memos explaining the rationale for the electors voting on Monday, though you may already have those, and I am preparing drafts of the documents that the electors in Nevada could sign to affect their votes in case having drafts in hand would be of help. Call or write, night or day. Call or write anytime, night or day. Sincerely, Kenneth Chesebro. And so there you see how this was being messaged. And what they were trying to do is basically say, well, we were just permitting the members of Congress to have a debate. But see, here's the thing. By December 14th, Donald Trump had lost dozens and dozens and dozens of litigation. There was absolutely no shot. There was no debate. They were using this, we were just trying to facilitate a robust debate about who won based on all of the purported electoral fraud that was taking place, knowing that there was no electoral fraud, knowing what they were saying is complete BS, knowing that they were submitting phony and false declarations about electoral fraud, where they were saying they were dead people voting and undocumented workers who were voting and lots of people who were voting who shouldn't be voting and harvesting, illegal harvest, all those things weren't happening. They knew all of that was false. So you have internally the Trump administration and the campaign at that time, knowing that they're lying, and they're messaging this fake electoral scheme. Now, the defense that's cited by this article for these fake electors, because they're going to throw all these Trump people under the bus, they're saying these guys were innocent people just doing what folks they trusted had asked them to do. One of the people familiar told TPM that senior Trump campaign officials in the state understood that Donald Trump had lost Nevada. They knew they couldn't win Nevada, but they were telling them to engage in that conduct. So what do we always say that MAGA stands for here? Make attorneys get attorneys. And let me just show you this, though. Ken Chesebro, I had to look this up because I had to say, Ken Chesebro's background, like, how did someone like this get involved in it? And this blew me away, although it shouldn't, because there's so many people who have sacrificed their reputations and their dignity and all credibility for Donald Trump. It's wild. Look at Ken Chesebro. This is his LinkedIn. It's on right now. You go Ken Chesebro. He describes himself as an appellate attorney. He went to Northwestern undergrad, then Harvard Law School, graduated Harvard Law in '86. He was a summer associate at Sidley Austin, one of the top law firms in the country. Then a summer associate at Cravath, Swaine & Moore, like the top firm in New York. Then was a law clerk for a U.S. District Court judge. Then worked as a deputy special counsel in the Office of Independent Counsel for Iran-Contra from 1993, and then was an appellate attorney. So you have someone with a significant legal background who just disgraces the profession, who knew what he was doing was absolutely wrong, but use that power to try to overthrow and destroy our democracy. And look, there's the Giulianis, there's the Eastmans, there's the Sidney Powells, there's the Mike Flynns, there's, all the people in that, the Jeff Clarks that we talk about. But this Ken Chesebro fella isn't getting enough attention, and I am glad that TPM is talking about it, that Talking Points Memo is talking about it. Give him a follow. Give Josh Kovensky a follow for breaking the story as well. And TPM does some really good reporting. They've got a TPM Journalism Fund, independent journalists over there. It's always very important for me to give shout outs to some of the people who break these stories and who surface these emails so that I can then share them with you. So great work over there at TPM. I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. We're on our way to 1.5 million subscribers thanks to your awesome support. Check us out at patreon.com/MeidasTouch and wherever audio podcasts are available. Subscribe. Have a great day.
Hey, Meidas Mighty. Love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram at MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.